Go back over to the YouTube, and you notice it's not on right now because we got to hit stream.
Wait, doesn't that start it? We don't want to, oh, we're going to start it and then we're going to put it to the thing.
Are we ready to go?
I'm trying to remember. I think
I
it
am.
goes here.
And I'm ready.
Everybody down there ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Make sure it's streaming.
I'm calling this meeting of February 22nd to 2022 to order. Proof of publication is available. The regular chairman, Mr. Stone, Max, is excused with absence. Proof of publication is available. I am looking for approval of the meeting minutes of January 17, 2022. Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment? Don't see any public, so there's no public comment. Next up is the check register of January 18. Hopefully, everybody's had a chance to review that, and it's in the total amount of $150,995.82. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the check register. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is discussion, is available for discussion and action to approve the change order for Wagman Construction for Lower Allen Commons contract in the form of a credit of $830.16, resulting from a change in material for the roof access ladder. Now, there was nothing in your packets on this, but they want to give us money back, so I'd suggest you consider approving it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the full documentation for the change order, but Greg did let me know it was forthcoming.
I'll move to approve the change order for Wagman Construction in the form of a credit of $830.16.
Thank you, John. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Is our construction manager?
Our construction manager has another engagement for this evening, but they did supply us in our packet an update. I would say that some of the bigger items, we have gas service to the hotel, and you probably have seen the electric conduit that's been going in. You saw that Gettysburg Road was closed. They had some flaggers out there. That was to get the electricity over to Lot 1. And in doing some of that work, we've almost completed everything that we had in escrow for the hotel. So at our last meeting, we had talked about getting payment from the escrow account, and we did receive 2/3 of that. So it was about $230,000 that we did receive. And then we also had finished and completed our work for Bonefish's parking lot, and that was $18,000 that we got from our escrow account. So that's closed that escrow. So I think those were
The high points.
yeah, those are some positive movements. And then for our third tenant, we don't have a lease with them yet, but it is working that way. So we have engaged KD3, our architect, to work on the design fit out for that. And we, I think, have a construction company that is doing the work for both Good Feet and Sports Clips for their interior fit out. So that's moving along. I think those are probably the big points.
Okay, the one that we don't have a signed
The
agreement
sign.
with is in the strip with Trader Joe's.
Pardon?
The one that we don't have a signed agreement with yet is in the strip with Trader Joe's.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, John, do you want to talk about the sign?
Oh, it was just a momentous occasion when the Trader Joe's sign was finally erected in the correct place.
And then we have a meeting tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the monitoring services for the building. So,
Alarm monitoring?
yes.
And have we completed all necessary paperwork with the Department of Public Safety?
We have not even started because we don't have a company that we've engaged
Got
yet.
it.
So we're meeting with them to see how they want to set it up and structure it and who the contacts will be.
Okay. So thank you for the report, Aaron. On behalf of Eastern PCM Incorporated. Next up is discussion and possible action to approve an engagement letter from Brown, Schultz, Sheridan, and Fritz for U.S. Form 990 and the 2021 Annual Report for Industrial Development Authorities for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in the amount of $1,100. Do I have any questions? If I don't have any questions, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Aaron, I just believe that's in line with what we've been paying in recent years.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item is discussion and possible action to approve a work letter from COR Construction for installation of cart corral in the amount of $1,530 and no cents. Any questions? If I don't have any questions, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Not to hold us up, but were they selected by Trader Joe's or did we find them?
We were responsible for providing the cart corral, and for whatever reason, it wasn't on the plans. So we are purchasing the cart corrals, so you'll see that on the check registry. It was, I think, the one from Pegs. Rather than having somebody buy it and do the markup and then install it, and then rather than having our contractor come back and do it, since Core's already on site doing the fit out for the rest of the work, we just asked them if they would be willing to install the cart corral, and they said sure. So we've ordered it, and it will be, actually there's two. So there's two, and they'll be coming to that site, and then Core will install it for us.
And I see Mark Simpson signed for a COR. Is that the local Mark Simpson?
I am not sure. Probably, yeah.
You say it is?
Used to be the mayor.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Art. Next item is discussion and possible action to approve a condo declaration amendment for the benefit of Unit 2 to restrict the sale of chicken and named fast food competitors by other unit owners. Do you want to give us some background on this?
Sure. So in the condo declaration, there's some restrictions. We have restrictions from Texas Roadhouse and from Bonefish Grill that would limit, competition. This is a fairly normal thing that they would say in this shopping center. They don't want to have somebody else who's going to sell seafood. So we have a tenant who will be selling chicken, and they do not want other unit owners to be allowed to sell chicken. And then they also have listed specific other fast food competitors or quick service competitors. They don't want, they want to be restricted from becoming unit owners or located in the shopping center. So it's not necessarily out of the norm that this would come up, but because we've already signed the condo declaration, we have to, and it's an amendment, all unit owners and all tenants have to agree to this amendment. So we are still the unit owners of 1, 2, and 3. So as a development authority, we'd have to agree to this amendment. And actually, we'll sign it as the declarant because we created the condo.
Okay, does anybody have questions for Aaron? Hearing no questions, do I hear a motion to approve this action?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Aaron, I have a question.
Sure.
We have two tenants now on Lower Allen Commons site, both of which are going to generate pretty heavy traffic. Do we know that we have room for everybody?
You have three.
Yeah, we have 3 tenants so far. We don't have leases with any other tenant. We're missing the middle piece so far. And then we have sales agreements for units 1 and 2. And we have an idea of who their tenants may be. They have submitted, they'll have to submit land development plans to the planning commission. And then some of the questions will be, how will you handle traffic and things of that nature.
And will you be at that planning commission meeting?
I will.
And would you ask them to ask the applicant if they have done a parking study for the entire site?
Sure. I mean, they also will have to have a variance. So we'll look at the plan and we'll see that according to our standards, Lower Allen Township standards, they don't have enough parking. So they'll have to come and ask for a variance. So that'll be before zoning hearing board too, which might be almost a better place to talk about the parking, but it'll come up at planning commission too, I'm sure.
We have received the zoning hearing board applications, and they are requesting special exception from our onerous parking requirements for fast food stores. I don't believe we've had any fast food store come into this township, including Sheetz and McDonald's and Jersey Mike's and Chipotle, that didn't need relief from our parking requirements. So there will be a parking study submitted and discussed at the zoning hearing board, and that would be a prerequisite step to the planning commission making a recommendation on a land development plan.
Good.
You got a point of clarification, you said variance, you said special exception.
Oh, it is special
She's
exception.
wrong.
Yep, I am wrong.
I just want to be clear, it was a special exception.
Correct, which has,
And
that a special exception has objective criteria, whereas the variance has 5 etched in stone variance criteria.
I'd point out, since the time that probably put the ordinance in place, fast food models all across the board have changed from 80% of the people going into the restaurants and 20% drive-through, switch. It's now 80% drive-through, and that's not just COVID, that's where the model was going a long time ago. So it's our feeling that the development of 1 and 2, and even 3, we think Trader Joe's asked for way more parking than they will need after the first month. First month will be crazy. But, you know, we have 2 things. I mean, your ordinance is 1, and they'll never park. I mean, what we're looking at for lot 2, especially, they're never going to need all the parking spaces, which creates a problem with the development of the site, just because of the amount of parking that's required. The other thing is, you know, when you look at this, whenever anybody has asked me about traffic there, I said, if you look at the amount of parking spaces that were there for 170,000 square feet of retail space, 170,000 square feet was replaced by 27,000 square feet of retail. Take out the hotel is able to park its, you know, they meet their requirement on their site. So the rest of the land there is 170,000 square feet got replaced by 27,000 square feet. Different type of retail. But, you know, I will say in its heyday that Pomeroy's and, you know, developed that kind of traffic. And when you say a traffic study, the development of this site didn't warrant off-site, you know, traffic improvements, was always our understanding, that it's not big enough to do that. I know everybody has in mind that this is gonna be just a huge traffic generator, like I said, after the first month with Trader Joe's. And grocery stores are not typically at the, you know, rush hour traffic times either. So,
Yeah, there will be a parking study
Right.
in conjunction with the zoning hearing board review.
Not traffic.
There isn't a trigger, I don't believe, for a full-blown
TIS.
traffic study.
Right.
Right, and we also think that the amount of space allocated for those other three tenants, given who we've already signed deals with and we're signing deals with, none of them are generating the kind of traffic or the parking that their ratios provided for. You understand that? So I think that on lot 3, there's plenty of parking for what will happen. And the hotel is on it, you know, on its lot.
Okay.
I think too, if you go by there, Burger King, oh my gosh, they've got 3 times as much parking that they need. And the funny thing is, when we talked to Texas Roadhouse about this whole development, they were like, you can't take anything away from us, we need this and that, because we typically need, do you remember the numbers? Like X parking spaces, and we said, if it was 110, we said that you have 150, and they go, oh, we do? Okay, then we're good. So just some background on some of that.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, Art.
I think the 170,000 square feet of retail being replaced by 27,000.
Well, a parking study is normally done by a traffic consultant, so we're gonna have something to back it up. All right, thank you. The next item, and Aaron, this is for your input also, discussion on Unit 3 maintenance.
So our building is about to be occupied, and we'll have some maintenance criteria for it. It should be minimal, and we do hope to sell it soon. But there will be, we will need to have a point of contact for ownership, or for, as the owner, or at least designate somebody, like particularly tomorrow when we talk about the security alarms. If there's something wrong, they're gonna need a contact from the owner's side. In past, it's been me, we can do that as long as it's short term. If it ends up being longer, my suggestion would be that we would, right now we have PMI engaged to do the condo, but they don't manage Unit 3. The Development Authority manages Unit 3, so we'll be collecting rent. Right now, I'm paying the utility bills for it, so I'm kind of acting as the property manager. And that part's easy enough, and we have the snow is under contract, we have, everything else is pretty much in place. As long as it's not a long-term thing where they might have to call me in the middle of the night and I have to come down and say, yeah, I don't really know how to solve this problem. So
Well, I was sold before.
good, that's all I needed to hear. But I just wanted to bring it to our attention in case that was a direction we needed to go. I did reach out to PMI and said, look, I really would just need you for like emergency contact purposes, or maybe to hold the keys, so in case somebody needed to get in, there's somebody who's kind of more on call rather than myself. And they weren't able to supply a proposal for something that vague, but I did just kind of want to discuss it.
Okay,
So naming Max, since he's not here,
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
that's what it gets for not showing up.
that's exactly right.
See, I learned that when you least expect it, because right after we bought this property, Bonefish, the week of the Super Bowl, so we had owned it for a week, and I had, it was the Super Bowl, so I was intending to have fun, and then their lights went out, and I was like, I got the call, and I was like, oh, this is what it's like to be a property manager.
Not fun.
Okay, do you need any further direction from us on this item 11?
No, I think we'll be good.
Okay. Next item. Discussion and possible action regarding pedestrian lighting donation to Lower Allen Township. This is outlined in the sheet that you have from Lear Electric, correct, Aaron?
Yes. So,
And it was because we were doing pedestrian level lighting, as I understand it. Aaron can probably answer this better than I can, but we had a conflict with locations from where the light fixture should be and underground utilities. So Lear, I presume, is donating them to us, right?
well, they charged us because they bought the materials already, and they're here.
Okay.
So they're ours. They're our asset.
So I guess the action you would desire would be to say, we will receive them, the parts.
Well, right. So we have the parts. They want to know what we want to do with them. We have a couple options. We already own them. So basically they're saying, where do you want us to leave this stuff? Presumably not on the site. So we have, as part of the township, a subscription to Municipid where we can do online auctions. So we could potentially sell the materials, sell the lights. They cost, I think, about $1,600 a piece. There'll be 4 pedestrian lightings, and actually we're having one light removed from Trader Joe's. They're switching it up to go to a off the wall light. It just reduced some of the conflict, which we also paid for. So we will have 5 lights, and our park crew said, hey, we can use it in the parks if you don't want it. So it's the Development Authority's asset. We can sell it and get the money back, great. Or if we want to donate it to Lower Allen Township for the parks, that's fine too. It's up for discussion.
Well, that's one thing I would like to see considered. The park right in front of the township building is awfully dark, and we could line some pathways with those lights. Okay. Board, I would entertain a motion for us to receive these spare parts.
Are we planning to donate them as well?
Pardon me?
Are we planning to donate them to the township, or are we going to sell them?
I'm fine if you want to add that. We will receive them and donate them to the township.
Okay.
I would so move.
I would second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to receive and donate to the township the extra lighting fixtures. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We have nowhere to store them till our next project, right?
Have to buy facilities.
Yep.
I don't think they're very big, are they?
They're about 14 feet tall, each of the pedestrian lights.
Oh, they aren't low-level lights.
They're not as tall as like parking lot lights, but they're
Okay,
acorn shaped.
they're probably 12 or 15 feet. Okay, all right. Okay, so I correct my statement. Our next meeting is Monday, March 21, 2022.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second, and I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
I'm breaking it.
I got lucky with zoning hearing board last Thursday. I just made sure the computer power was on. I turned the master power and the sound mixer on. The consultant plugged in his thumb drive and everything worked.
All right, it looks like it's actually over.